Law of the bedroom, number 62. The addiction to sex. And here's a quote for you. One should be just as careful in choosing one's pleasures as in avoiding calamities. One should be just as careful in choosing one's pleasures as in avoiding calamities or things that are not good for you. You know, sex addiction is a progressive disorder dealing with compulsive sexual thoughts and behaviors. It can really get out of hand. For some, it can involve illegal activities such as exhibitionism, voyeurism, obscene phone calls, child molestation, and even rape. How do you know if you are a sex offender or addicted to sex? Well, the answer may surprise you. Sex addicts are not simply people who crave lots of sex. Sexual disorders are often masked by stress, poor self-image, anxiety, and shame. Then, despite the dangers, offenders return to their obsessions by exposing themselves, lewd photographs, salacious videos, excessive pornography usage, and erotic exhibitions of disgusting tastes. Now, how can you spot a sex addict? Some of the factors to be aware of are, number 1, the person may appear to be codependent and possessive. Number 2, frequently fantasizes about sex in the strangest of ways. And it's like nonstop. It's like constant. You know, imagine you replace sex with alcohol or sugar or drugs. You know, they constantly think about it. They're codependent on it. You know, very possessive about it. Not good. Number 3 is easily found on the strangest and most borderline or illegal websites of pornography. Not good. You know, child porn and animal porn. It's disgusting. All kinds of stuff. Number 4, feels powerless over his or her sexual behaviors. And number 5 is incapable of having a healthy, intimate relationship without still having these addictions. You know, flying to other countries to have sex with minors. That's a no-no. Having sex with minors here in this country, that's a no-no. You know, you hear it in the news all the time. Teachers having sex with their students. You hear about, you know, men imprisoning women in the basement of their house for years on end, and other horrid stories. It's horrifying. It's evil. It's wrong. You know, sex is like fire. It can keep you warm or it can burn you. And you got to be careful. If you know someone who seems to be preoccupied with this, you know, sexual behaviors or these activities or these thoughts on the mind, you know, if it's even visible to you, like, oh, I think they're, you know, to the point of demanding and compulsive sex, try to understand that that individual may be suffering from a complex mixture of biological, psychological, cultural, and even possible family issues that have prompted these impulses and urges that eventually become irresistible, uncontrollable, and an addiction. It ain't good. Guys, I know we like to think about sex all the time, but don't let it control you. Don't let it tempt you to, you know, and as they say, you know, when you watch one form of porn, you branch off into more and more and more stranger behavior, you know, in some cases disgusting, and, you know, you never would have ever imagined that you'd want to be watching sex with animals or something like that, something crazy and sickening. But that's the thing. You've got to step back from this sex compulsion and these excessive thoughts. You know, you can't be having sugar every single day for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. You can have a candy bar, once a week. You know, that's not going to kill you. You know, for if you're really strict on your diet and you really want to work out and look good, maybe you can have a candy bar once a month. Same with sex. You shouldn't be thinking about it all the time. You shouldn't be, you know, compulsively engaged in, how can I get it? How can I get it? I need it. I need it. I'm going to start having sex with your family members and children and, you know, rape and all that. Sex is a flesh-related activity. Listen to that. Sex is a flesh-related activity. You ever heard the difference between thought processes of the spirit and of the flesh? It's almost like a religious thing. You have the spirit and the flesh. The spirit within each of us is devoid of desires for the flesh. And flesh means food, drink, sex, all the vices, that you could be doing, drugs. When you're spiritual, you're high on thought. You're high on peace, harmony. You don't partake in drugs. You don't partake in sugar. You don't partake in any of these substances that you would consume physically, the flesh. On the flesh side, you can never satisfy the flesh. The flesh wants one more slice of pizza, one more drink, one more smoke, one more. The flesh, its satisfactory levels diminish quickly. Like, for example, you order a pizza. You eat one slice. You're not satisfied. So you have a second, and then a third. If you start having pizza every night, you'll start eating the whole pizza, like I've done before. I've eaten the whole pizza, and I love it. But then I feel fat and bloated afterwards for a day or two, and then I sort of abstain so I can get back to normal. Well, I haven't had a pizza in maybe 2 months, and I've been working out a lot. I've been swimming, running, and how do I feel about that? Well, I feel like if I wanted a piece of pizza or order a pizza, I would probably be very happy with just one slice. Yes, one slice. When I used to eat the whole darn thing. So the same thing with compulsion of sex. If you get it all the time, have it all the time, and you miss it and you want it, before you know it, what's available to help you release these urges you have? Well, if you're not in a relationship and having sex with the same woman to help you relieve those urges, you're probably going to start looking around. And I'm not saying you're going to start looking around. People start looking around. And they start thinking about having sex with strangers. Like certain sexual orientations, they'll just go to the restroom. And with a perfect stranger, they'll have sex with someone in the bathroom. That's what I'm talking about. Danger, dangerous, diseases. Addictions can bring about death. And you got to be careful. So how do you spot a sex addict? It can be hard. But I'll tell you what, a lady will know if you're a sex addict if you want to have sex with her quite soon. Not that you're an addict, but you're not in control of your urges. You need to be in control of your urges. When you are in control of your urges, you get to know her better. When you realize she's actually a really great gal. Gosh, I want to get closer to you. Let's hold hands. Why don't you sit in my lap? Let's cuddle under a blanket and watch a movie. Can I pet your... do you mind? Oh, thank you. That's nice. I'm still going to take my time. I still want to get to know you. In fact, guys, here's the deal. Laws of the bedroom will teach you. We don't ask for sex. We get so close to her, mentally, heart-wise, emotionally, psychologically, intellectually, that her mind is going crazy, that she wants you so bad. I've not exhibited any kind of overtones of sex addiction. I love it. It's great. I have a great time when I'm involved in it. But I'm in complete control of myself to where I never ask for it. She always comes to me to say, hey, honey, I'm feeling horny. I've been thinking about you a lot. I want to do X, Y, Z. And I'm like, you do? Have you been a good girl or a bad girl? I've been really bad. All right, you know what to do. I'll see you in the bedroom in about 5 minutes. Stuff like that. Addicts are not in control. They're not in control. They just do drugs constantly and then they die or go to jail. They drink until their liver is destroyed. So addiction brings death or destruction. Do not let sex become an addiction to you. How can you help someone with these tendencies? If you are in a relationship, married or single, you need to confront it and talk about these concerns. You must be prepared for the addict to be in denial. It's really important that you maintain your cool when addressing this topic due to the vulnerability and shamefulness of, the problem. Obviously, the addict will never make any progress unless he or she can admit that the problem exists and can agree to seek professional help, because professional help is needed. Unless they say, okay, I'm going to work my tail off to get rid of this. And people have done it. They've gotten rid of their drinking problems and their sugar problems. People can do it on their own. But depending on the severity of the situation, professional help is called for, and you should get it. So this is not something that you can fix. per se. You're not paid to be their therapist. It could be bigger than the both of you. So for any successful recovery, you both will require the tools to cope with the situation. A sexual addiction professional or appropriate sexual addiction treatment facility can help. Don't hesitate to make that call and go after that help. In the meantime, sometimes focusing on a healthy new activity or hobby or speaking with a spiritual counselor can be useful when tempted to return to old, loathsome behaviors. And again, we're talking about abstaining 100% from this addiction. Putting up the guards on the phone or deleting certain apps, certain browsers. Putting up blocks on browsers so that you can't access certain sites, in this case for sexual addiction. And then, of course, stop seeing hookers and escorts and all that kind of stuff, or whatever's going on. Just stop it. I've said this a lot lately in this audio, and I've expressed my tone about it too. Stop it. Stop doing it. And you know what? I reversed that right to myself. Bart, you've got to stop eating whole pizzas. You've got to stop. If you want to have a good body and be in shape and all that kind of stuff to, deliver the goods to your gal, you've got to stop. You can only eat well. You can only drink the good stuff. Like, for example, this is kind of a funny, cute thing. If I'm at the grocery store and I have the urge for like chocolate milk, I'll go get the half gallon of almond chocolate milk. I'll bring it home. I'll say to myself, dude, do not drink this whole half gallon in one day. I mean, can you make it last a week? Can you? Can you try? No. I drank the whole half gallon of chocolate milk in like a single 24-hour period. The first thing I do, get home, unload the groceries, put them in the fridge. Oh my gosh, that was work. I need a break. I need a little treat. Let's pour a small glass of the chocolate milk. Drink that. That was good. That was a small glass. Let's do another small glass. Well, I'll do like 5 small glasses to trick myself that I'm not drinking like a big glass. I'll have 5 small glasses. Yeah, right. I'm lying to myself. Anyhow, it's hilarious. I had a friend come over. She came over for some help that I was helping her with. And she said, what are we having for dinner? And I said, well, I already had my dinner. Oh, what'd you have? And I went to the trash can and I pulled out the half gallon almond chocolate milk. I said, you drank that whole thing? I said, yeah, I did. I've been working out lately, so I feel like I feel like I'm just burning all that calories. I drink it, it just evaporates. But still, I have an addiction. I'm addicted to chocolate. I literally have to get it out of the house. I can't have any chocolate in the house or else I got problems. So anyhow, yes, I'm seeking professional help about my chocolate addiction. Anyhow, hey, I hope you got something out of this section when I talked about addiction to sex. There's something to say about postponing and building up. If you have something too much of it, you're not going to like it anymore. Like, for example, porn. People are so just, nothing phases them anymore. It's not exciting anymore. All the nudity, all of it in their face. And they're like, yeah, I've seen it before. Yeah, I'm not really aroused. Well, save some. In fact, that's why I recommend that the man and the woman have 2 bedrooms at the house. Sleep separately 2 or 3 nights a week. Long for each other. Don't be on top of each other all the time. Familiarity breeds contempt, or what's that phrase? How's that go? Before you know it, it's like, oh, I've seen you. I don't want you anymore. I want to cheat. I want to go. Well, separate yourself. In fact, today, because so many people kind of like that individual single lifestyle, they just like the freedom. They like they like a quiet house. Whatever they like. They start to be with someone, kind of, date them a little bit, kind of see them more often, yet they still maintain separate houses. She lives where she lives, he lives where he lives. Well, that separation actually makes that relationship pretty exciting because they're not always on top of each other. So it's interesting to see how long that will last, because even though eventually they may move in together, they may say, hey, let's do what Bart said. Let's maintain separate bedrooms. We won't share everything. We'll still have our separateness, but that separation creates desire for me to want to be with you more. Anyhow, I think I'm going off on a tangent on that one. So anyhow, addiction, sex addiction, try to avoid it. Abstain. If you think you're having too much, back off, create some distance. And hey, I hope you don't have this going on in your world. And if you do what you can to eradicate it and take care of it. Yikes. I'll pray for you. I really will. I'll pray for you right now. Okay, let's continue to the next law of the bedroom. Number 63, guys, avoid prostitutes, escorts, embarrassments, jail, disease. It's not good. Okay, let's check it out.